Did you know that one single event changed the course of human history forever? It happened long, long ago in a land called Judea. Just as the sun was rising on the first day of the week, the air was cool and still. A man named Jesus had been crucified 3 days before. His body lay in a tomb, carved from solid rock. Roman guards stood watch at the entrance, and a massive stone sealed it shut. This was a garden tomb, owned by a wealthy man, not far from the city of Jerusalem. Early that morning, a group of women who followed Jesus made their way to the tomb. They carried fragrant spices to properly prepare his body for burial. As they walked, the ground suddenly began to tremble. A powerful earthquake shook the land. In that moment, the great stone rolled away from the tomb's entrance, all by itself. The guards, tough Roman soldiers, collapsed like dead men, overcome with terror. Inside the tomb, something truly astonishing awaited. The body of Jesus was gone. The linen cloths that had wrapped him were still there, but they were neatly folded. An angel appeared, his clothes shining like a flash of lightning. He sat upon the stone that had been moved. The women froze, caught between awe and confusion. How could this be? The tomb was empty. A deep, profound mystery hung in the air. The angel spoke words of hope, telling them not to be afraid, that Jesus was no longer there. He had risen, just as he said he would. The women turned and ran back to tell the others, their hearts pounding with a strange mix of fear and overwhelming joy. When Peter and John heard the news, they immediately rushed to the tomb. John, being younger, got there first. He peered inside but hesitated to go in. Peter, however, went straight inside. He saw the empty linen wrappings, just as the women had described. They both stood there, wondering what it all could possibly mean. Could Jesus really be alive? Meanwhile, Mary Magdalene had stayed behind, weeping outside the empty tomb. Through her tears, she glanced inside and saw 2 angels sitting where Jesus' body had been. Then, a man appeared in the garden behind her. She thought he was the gardener and begged him to tell her where they had taken Jesus. But it was not the gardener, it was Jesus himself. He simply said her name, Mary. In that instant, her eyes were opened. He was alive. The wonder of it all grew stronger. How could death itself lose its grip? Later that very day, 2 of Jesus' followers were walking to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. The afternoon sun warmed the dusty path as they talked sadly about Jesus and his death. A stranger joined them on the road and asked what they were discussing with such heavy hearts. They explained the recent events, the crucifixion, the empty tomb. The stranger then began to teach them, using the ancient scriptures to show how it was all part of a divine plan that the Messiah had to suffer and then rise again. As evening fell, they reached the village and invited the stranger to stay and eat with them. As he took bread, blessed it, and broke it, their eyes were finally opened. They recognized him. It was Jesus. And just like that, he vanished from their sight. Their hearts burned with a newfound excitement. Even in the dark, they ran all the way back to Jerusalem. The mystery only deepened. Jesus could appear and disappear like the morning mist. Back in Jerusalem, the disciples were hiding in a locked upper room. Fear had a tight grip on them. They were afraid the Roman soldiers or the Jewish leaders would come for them next. Suddenly, without any door opening, Jesus was standing there among them. A wave of peace washed over the room. He showed them his hands and his side, revealing the wounds from the nails and the spear. They touched him. He even ate a piece of fish to prove he was real, not some ghost. Their fear melted away, replaced by pure, unbelievable joy. But one of the disciples, Thomas, wasn't there that night. When the others told him what had happened, he refused to believe. He said he would unbelieve unless he could see the nail marks and put his finger where the nails were. 8 days passed. The group gathered again, and this time, Thomas was with them. The doors were shut and locked just as before, and once again, Jesus appeared. He looked at Thomas and invited him to touch his wounds. In that moment, all of Thomas's doubt turned into solid belief. The power of seeing changed everything. Jesus then gave a special blessing to all those who would believe in him without ever seeing. A quiet, lasting wonder settled over them all. These incredible events happened in the springtime, right after the Passover festival. Flowers were blooming in the fields, and birds sang in the olive trees. But the real beauty was in the miracle itself. Jesus rose from the dead. This act proved he was exactly who he claimed to be, the Son of God. Death could not hold him. The power of sin was broken. So, why is this single event so important? It gave a new and unshakable hope to the entire world. We all face death, and graves often seem so final. But Jesus defeated death. His resurrection meant that forgiveness and a brand new life were now possible for everyone. His followers began to spread this amazing news, starting in Jerusalem and traveling to the farthest lands. Churches sprang up, countless lives were transformed. Without the resurrection, their faith would have faded away. But it stands as the ultimate proof that God's love always wins. Just think about that empty tomb, silent and bare, yet filled with more promise than anything in history. The guards fled in terror. The women became the very first witnesses. The disciples were transformed from frightened men in hiding to bold preachers who would change the world. Something real happened that day. It wasn't a trick. It wasn't a dream. It was a fact that echoes through time. In the days that followed, Jesus met with his followers again. Once, on a lake shore at dawn, as mist rose from the water, some of them were fishermen who had been out all night and caught nothing. A voice called from the shore, telling them to try casting their net on the other side of the boat. They did, and the net filled with so many fish they could barely haul it in. They knew it was him. Peter was so excited he jumped into the water and swam to shore. Jesus had a fire going, with fish cooking on the coals. They ate breakfast together. Another time, on a mountain in Galilee, under a vast blue sky, Jesus met with about 500 of his followers. He gave them his final words. Go and tell the entire world. Baptize them. Teach them my ways. And remember, I am with you always. Then he rose up into the clouds, and angels appeared, promising that he would return one day in the very same way he left. The resurrection is a profound mystery. How exactly did it happen? No one saw the actual moment. The stone rolled away. A brilliant light flashed. Power from heaven surged. We can only imagine. But the wonder of it all continues to pull us in. It whispers to us of something far greater than what our eyes can see. In those ancient streets of Jerusalem, the echoes of that day remain. The garden tomb still exists, empty as ever. Pilgrims visit and feel the sense of awe that still hangs in the air. The story lives on, passed down through generations. This one event sparked a fire that spread across empire. It has changed the course of nations and shaped the lives of billions of people, all from one empty grave and one risen man. The importance is crystal clear. It shows that God keeps his promises. It was foretold by ancient prophets, and Jesus fulfilled every word. It is the ultimate victory of good over evil, light over darkness, and life over death. You can feel the pull of that wonder in simple moments, today in a sunrise after a long night, or a flower pushing its way up from dry ground. That is the spirit of the resurrection, new beginnings and fresh hope. And so, in the quiet of that long ago dawn, the world shifted on its axis. Death's door was cracked open, and eternal life stepped through. Jesus is alive. That truth echoes forever, calling all of us to believe and to rise with him. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome videos that explore the biggest questions of life. See you next time.